guys, Zero here. I got another unboxing for you. No, it is not Throwback Thursday, but I figured, throw this stuff on, give you guys a little bit of nostalgia, because what I got to unbox is from back in the day. This came out in 1991. I believe this is the same year Mark Wahlberg, aka Marky Mark, had Good Vibrations out there, and it was like at the top 5 songs of the year. I swear to God, look it up. It's in there. And like Rush and a couple other songs are out there. I Want to Sex You Up, that was another good one from the 90s. But this kit I got just recently is a re-release. It's from Tamiya, so it is Tamiya Tuesday, and I'm doing a Tamiya unboxing. But this kit was originally made in 1991, and it was the last kit made in Tamiya's line of the first 100 kits ever made from Tamiya. So this is number 100 of the first 100, which classifies it as a vintage collection piece. And then they re-released it in 2017, and I had seen it in the 2017 catalog, and I was like, damn, I remember this buggy. And going back into the 90s, I was in my junior year of high school. I was broke. I didn't have any money, you know what I'm saying? I think I had a part-time job just because, I wanted to go out and hang out with my friends and stuff and party and whatever, and I was still into the RCs, just not as much as I was when I first started, because it was kind of like high school. You start partying, chasing girls, things like that. Stuff happens. But I had seen this kit at the store, and I was like, man, that is a weird looking, kit. But then again, Tamiya's kits are a lot of their kits are very, unique aesthetically, you know what I'm saying? They're very space agey, very sci-fi kind of, So you had some original ones that had like realistic looking bodies and chassis and stuff. They looked like the real Doom buggies out there. But then they had some that were a little bit more design orientated and, artist driven. And this was one of those cars. But it also happened to be a 4-wheel drive buggy that I never, I was never able to get at the time. Like I said, it was just, I was broke, and the cost for one of these was ridiculous. But I got my hands on one. So, I'll show you really quick. And I apologize because this box is huge and heavy. But I'm excited because this is one of the top 5 cars I've always wanted from Tamiya. Again, I couldn't afford it back in the day. And it's still pricey now. But I was able to save up, pick it up, and add it to my collection. And I have one of the other top 5, which is my Grasshopper, my Resto, which I'll be doing videos on, which was my very first radio control car ever. So, stay tuned for videos of that. But this guy was on my list, so that's 2 out of the 5. And I'm hoping to just, if I can afford the other ones, I will. If I can't, it is what it is. But this is the Tamiya Top Force. Oh, I gotta lean back. I can't see on the camera because this motherfucking box is too big. Excuse my French. Yeah, check that shit out. Yeah, Zero's got a Top Force. That's that. I want to give a quick shout out to Glenn over at Tamiya Legends. I discovered his channel about a year ago. He had a bunch of his collection out there, and it just inspired me because he's an extreme lover of vintage Tamiya cars. Anything within that top 100, just like myself. Probably around the same age. We grew up with those cars in our history, in our lives. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like with Glenn, a lot of things changed for me when I started getting into RCs. If you watch some of my other videos, I talk about it. But, I was on the verge of, I was either going to do this and probably, most likely ruin my life, or do this and take a whole different direction. And the RC car came into my life, I think, at the right time. My mother just made the right choice at the right time and it was the right product, and it just pushed me into the right direction. I feel, you know, I'm not super successful or anything like that, but I feel like it really helped put my mind in the right place and get me going down the right road. So, you know, I just, like I said, I want to give a shout out to Glenn, because seeing his channel and seeing his passion for the RCs and restoring the Tamiyas helped rekindle my love for the RCs. And I've had RCs on and off. I still had some of my Tamiyas from the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I got some cars, you know, retro cars. But they were stored away, you know, put in boxes. Some of them took damage, and I was just kind of like, well, I'll just hold on to it until I'm ready to throw it away. But, you know, seeing his channel, you know, helped me kind of like, hey man, you know, that's another project you could get your hands on, and you don't have to be outside doing, you could just do here. And I got really sick, and it was just another thing that helped me while I was sick, you know. So shouts out Glenn. Also, there's another guy out there, RC Kicks. He's another one who's a retro RC fan, you know, and the channel's just helped me with motivation to do the things that I have to do. I've got another TLO1 back there from Tamiya in the, you know, late 90s, mid 90s actually, you know, that I'm restoring, one of 3, you know. So I enjoy the hobby. We're gonna get over to the table. We're gonna pop this open, take a look at all the parts and stuff. I'm not gonna do a build video unless I get enough people who are interested in a build video, or if I get enough comments, you know, about putting this on my Patreon channel, putting something on my Patreon channel for my patrons, so that, you know, you'll have some exclusive content of me fiddling around with this thing. But, you know, I will get to it really soon, hopefully. I actually do want to get that grasshopper done first. That's one of my this TLO1 is 95% complete. That grasshopper's got to get done, and then I'm going to hit this guy, and we're going to build this guy. In the meantime, I'll probably try and see if I can collect the other 3 MacGuffins out there for my list. So, we'll see. One of them is a bruiser, Tamiya bruiser. Then there's the Avante / Egress. I don't know which one I want. And then there's the Fast Attack vehicle, the Tamiya Fast Attack vehicle. Those are the top 5 on my list of favorite Tamiyas of all time. I like the Sand Scorchers, I like the Monster Beetle, I like a bunch of the cars. I've had a bunch of cars. But out of all of these cars, those are my top 5 that I'm looking for. And I'm hoping, I'm hoping not to have to pay an arm and a leg for them, you know. But we'll see. But anyway, let's get over to the table and crack this baby open. I know that's what you guys want to see. All right, be right back. All right, guys, here it is. I'm excited. We're going to pop this open for the first time. I've had it for a couple weeks, but I just haven't had a chance to get it on camera. The Tamiya Top Force 110 scale high performance off-road racer. 100. That 100 right there means that is the 100th RC car in the Tamiya collection. So this is in the first 100 that were ever made from Tamiya. And the Top Force made it in there. This is the last of the 100. So it's technically a vintage. It was re-released a couple times. This is actually the 2017 version that I was able to get my hands on. I would have loved to have actually gotten an Evolution, a Top Force Evolution, more so than a Top Force. But the Evolutions are just way, way, way overpriced online right now. And there's no sign that Tamiya is going to be re-releasing an Evolution. So, yeah, I'll deal with this guy. And I'm going to actually probably do some upgrades to it. Not a lot, because I think box stock is pretty good for this car, considering. And there we have the chassis. It's the dual plates. You gotta love the Tamiya artwork, man. This stuff is just, it's awesome. And this stuff was all hand drawn originally. It wasn't done with a computer program. I mean, they used computers to help color and do stuff like that, but this was a technical drawing someone did at a table an architect did at a table, which was really, really cool. There's the side of the box. Yeah, there it says 2017. Another cutout look of the chassis, motor placement, and part placement. And these are, you know, this is obviously what you need to run this vehicle. And then the bottom is just a plain box. And I think a lot of the times, like, one of the big things about these Tamiyas, especially for collectors, is the box. Now, it was shipped to me in another box, just like this, so it didn't have any saran wrap or shrink wrap over it. Sorry, but we're gonna take a look inside and see if everything's good to go. This history right there. Look at that. And Tamiya knows how to package some product. You know, they their presentation is always top notch. We got our black ABS plastic parts. And I know there's a lot of aluminum upgrades for this chassis, and you can do all kinds of stuff to it. But again, I don't think I'm going to really be doing too much swapping out for parts. To be honest, maybe I'll probably get the high cap shocks for it. And we've got our pin tires. Very cool. And these pin tires are soft, but they're so cool. Classic Tamiya. Let's get this back in here, just so we don't misplace anything. Here in the center we have our shell. Top force shell. Such a cool looking car. And it's funny, I actually had a thread on one of my Facebook groups, and we were talking about some of the top, like the worst, ugliest cars that Tamiya made in the top 100, and some of the best. And this one is always in my best, but a lot of people were saying how it looks like a squashed fish or something, like a smashed bug. And it kind of does. It kind of has that look. And it was pretty funny because I was like, damn, I never even noticed that. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And there's the wing there. So you cut that out. Very cool. I am on the fence about whether or not I'm going to go with box art for this, or if I'm going to go with a custom paint scheme. I'm leaning towards box art. I might do something a little different with the green though, because I found some stuff online that may make the instructions here. And we've got our decal sheet or stickers, whatever you call them. And kind of like the gray for the windows. Is that clear? Might be a little clear. A little bit. A little smoked windows. Looks like the warranty card. And the antenna rod, which is, it's ironic that they still offer these, you know. I mean, it's cool, but you don't really need them anymore in this day and age. So Tamiya kits are generally, on average, now this isn't a hard fact, this is just, a personal fact. On average, they're generally some of the easier RC kits to put together out on the market now. You know what I mean? Like, they're so simple. They go together so quickly and simple compared to some of the newer kits or some of the performance racing kits and stuff like that. And obviously why. It's because they want to, they want this to be an experience for everyone, not just the collector or the racer. And we have another box. It's pretty heavy. I love that artwork. It's so cool. and the sides are just plain. So we'll pop this open real quick and take a look and see what's inside here. I believe that's all the hardware and all that stuff. I love opening up new stuff, especially these Tamiya things. Oh my god. So these are the wheels. Very cool. These are very common wheels though in Tamiya now. Like a lot of kits come with these wheels. They're not terrible, just not my favorite. Bag F. Bag E. Oh, look at that. Those are the plates, top and bottom deck. It's not carbon fiber, but it's that other stuff. These things always made me nervous, like these types of cars. I don't know, I always felt like they were more fragile. Fragile, far more fragile than your standard bathtub chassis or tub chassis. But you know, a lot of people use them, so I guess, or a lot of companies use them, so I guess, you know, how could they go wrong? So here's our gears. Interesting. Springs. Shock oil. Looks like diff gear. Both diff gears. So this is four-wheel drive. So it's got front and rear diffs, which is really cool. I have not owned a four-wheel drive buggy. I do have four-wheel drive cars, like touring cars and rally cars, but no buggies. Bag B. I think that's that Loctite stuff, or maybe even grease. I don't know. Shock towers. Bag A. More screws, parts. Lovely. Those ball bearings for the diffs. I always had issues with those. I always mess them up. Here's our bumper. Bag C. These are dried dog bones. Shock tower looks like. And the sway bar. And our standard Tamiya motor. I actually have another motor I'm going to put in this thing. I have a green machine motor that I actually have in my current TL01 Resto. The RS540. I mean, I know it came with the kit, but I think the one I have will probably do the kit more justice without having to go into lipos. And here's the front steering hubs. And that is it. That's all that's in the box. Very cool. Cool. So yeah, we're definitely going to swap this motor out. And again, it's not you know, I don't want to hop the whole car up or nothing like that. It's just, I feel like that motor would do the car justice without overdoing it. I don't want to go brushless. And I know there's people on there who have. Glenn over there at Tamiya Legends. You know, he's done it. That's pretty cool. You know, I've actually watched a couple of his videos on the Top Force, you know, because I've been looking to buy one for a long time now. So his videos, if you haven't seen them, check him out at Tamiya Legend. I'll put a link for his page in the description below. But he's got a lot of information on on you know, classic Tamiyas, vintage Tamiyas, because he's a big vintage Tamiya guy. Put a lot on this car and the Avante. So if you're going to get into those kinds of cars, he's really knowledgeable. So check him out. You know, like, subscribe, share on his page. Tell him Zero sent you. Put in one of the comments that Zero sent you. He'll get a kick out of that, I'm sure. But yeah, that's I've been waiting to get one of these cars for so long. Like, I have my Grasshopper Risto that I'm gonna do. You know, you guys know that I got that coming. I'll do some videos on that one, and that was primarily because it was my first RC car ever. You know, so I felt like, you know, picking up a Grasshopper, restoring it would be, you know, just that nostalgia for me. But this car here, this is one of the 3 or 4 cars that throughout my history as a kid, through, you know, teenager, growing up and stuff, and just coming up and seeing these cars in the shops that you just could not afford. I just could not afford it, you know what I mean? And like this one, the Avante, the Egress, you know, there's the Bruiser. Those are cars that I would love to have in my collection. You know, it just wasn't affordable. It's somewhat affordable now, but not so much as justifiable, you know, because I'm dealing with limited space and funds, you know, so a Bruiser is just way out of the park for me, and it's even more expensive now than it ever was, unfortunately, if it's even available anymore. You know, the Avante I can get, you know, I can get one of those, but I'm on the fence between an Avante and an Egress, just based on performance, you know. But the Avante has that, it's, you know, traditional Tamiya, you know, again in the top 100. But I've been waiting, like I said, I've been waiting for this car for a long time, you know, and I finally got my hands on one for a decent price on eBay. So I'm glad I picked it up. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to stay close to box art. I think I'm gonna keep the same decals, but I'm gonna do something a little different with this green paint. Like, I know they use a specific Tamiya metallic green paint, but I want to do some kind of scaling or webbing through here. So I'm gonna find some stencils to get in there and do some scaling, real subtle. Nothing. It's gonna be green. It's gonna stay green, but it's gonna be subtle, and hopefully you guys will appreciate it when it's done. But yeah, that's one of my top 5 Tamiya dream cars right here. Finally got one. Top 4. It's not an Evolution, but basically I could make it an Evolution. All I got to do is just do the upgraded stuff that the Evolution came with, and I'll be good to go. So I also bought a set of full ball bearings for this. So I'm gonna do the whole thing with ball bearings. You know, so that just helps with your motor and your performance and your battery life and stuff like that. So, you know, that's just par for course when you buy one of these kits. But I will probably do a build series on this. If you guys want to see the actual building process, I could do that. I'm thinking that's something I could put on my Patreon, since I don't have anything up there yet. And that'll give exclusive access to those who are interested in watching me build this kit, and any of the other kits like the Grasshopper, redo, finishing up my HPI Cup Racer. You know, I want to get a couple more Tamiya kits within the year, so probably like another, you know, couple months I'll be picking up a Tamiya Frog, which is another one of my top 5 must-haves, and maybe a MO5 or MO6 car, something like that. But, you know, if you guys want to see the builds, I will definitely film them, and I will definitely put them on my Patreon. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think, what I should do. But there are definitely more RC projects to come, just like there are definitely more Warhammer 40K projects. There's a ton of stuff. Look, I'll show you guys just really quick. This table here is literally filled with model kits that still have to be built, painted, worked on. There's my TLO1. You know, I've got tons of projects lined up. There's my tank I gotta get finished. That's just a painting thing. But Zero's got a lot of stuff on the table. So, you know, if you guys are interested in seeing all this crap being done, like built, worked on, whatever, just say the word, man, and I'll throw it on video. And like I said, I can put it on Patreon so you guys can see it exclusively. You know. All right. As always, guys, I appreciate you checking me out. And those of you who are subscribed, I appreciate you sticking with me. And for those of you who aren't subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, hit that notification button. I try to put videos up every week. I have a schedule, my whole week, Monday through Friday, is filled with scheduled videos to put up. So, like I said, if you're interested, like, subscribe, share. Also, I'll have my email address in the description below, like always, for my PayPal account. So if anybody wants to help out the channel, anything you donate is appreciated, and will definitely be going to keep this channel going, to keep these types of projects coming. Also, quick announcement, I'm going to be doing a giveaway, like a raffle, on some of my older collectibles, some things that I still have in package and box, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll be doing another video just kind of showcasing that whole process. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.